St. Mary's Ryken boys lacrosse is wrapping up their long regular season and now preparing for postseason play. As usual, the Knights are on the heels of a great season and expectations are high for the playoffs. The man, the myth, the legend, head coach John Southern knows that despite having a very young team made up of mostly underclassmen, his senior leadership will be the key to postseason success.
Well, it being my senior year, I've gone in with the mentality of I got to win this game. It's my last year in high school, so I always step on the field wanting to win the game. And close to the end of the season, it can't get any sweeter just finishing out with a bunch of wins. So I'm determined that we can take it all and go all the way this year.
Well, as a senior, the young guys look to us for the leadership, and we got to set a good example on the field, whether it's playing with discipline, the basic fundamentals. We got to show them that the basic fundamentals can win a game, no matter how old you are, size-wise. We have little guys on the team taking on guys that are 200 pounds and showing them how it's done. So.
I mean, as a senior, there's not very many of us, so we just try to get the young guys to work hard and keep focused and worrying about the little things that can help us win, and just keep working hard.
Every year's a challenge when you're a coach, and but like our whole attack. Yesterday we had 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior playing. On defense, we had 3 sophomores and a junior playing. Midi, we have 1 offensive midi back from last year. So, yeah, it's a challenge. However, this is a really nice bunch of boys, and they're hard workers. It's not, and they have great attitudes, and they're coming out here. We had a tough practice today, and every one of them's going hard here. So when you have a group of kids that want to work hard with good attitudes, it's rewarding, and it makes my job fun.
Any La Plata High School folks out there may want to turn away now. The Leonardtown Lady Raiders lacrosse team is in full effect. Off the opening face-off, Carly Bowes turned down for what? 1-0 Raiders. Moments later, Sarah Frank finds Bowes in front of the net. Back-to-back goals for Bowes, 2-0 Ltown. Chelsea Kibler takes matters in her own hands. Unassisted sniper style, 3-0 Leonardtown before you could blink. Then check this out. Carson Harris ducks and dodges through 3 defenders for an unassisted goal of her own, 4-0. Peep this. Harris can pass, too, on the break, feeding Sarah Frank, camped out in front of the goal. 16-3 Raiders in dominant fashion over La Plata. Maximum Health and Fitness Just Lose It contest finished with a touching finale as fitness director Jackie Klein crowned the winners from the men's and women's division. But in this contest, every contestant is a winner.
From Pudgy Bunny to now, it's been crazy. It's one of those things where you come into class and you're like, how can I get this done? And then you feed off the energy of the trainers. The trainers are incredible. And you just keep going off of their energy, and then everyone else's energy just bumps up, and you just keep going and going, and then you start seeing results.
Well, I started off in just terrible shape, pretty much like crawling, and then just worked my way up little by little. Started out like half hour and turned into like an hour turned into 2, and then 3, 4 day, and I just every day, 7 days a week. Didn't cheat on my diet.
The journey, I enjoyed every class that they had. All the instructors were outstanding and very motivating in our inches lost efforts. So I'm very proud of everyone, including myself. Made great friends.
Seeing the group change and seeing them together and knowing each other and the relationships they've built. So this is something, too, that in the future when they're in the gym, they're not going to be the only one to where they're going to know people, and that makes it all the difference. So just seeing the group transform into building those relationships and sharing that same goal made a big difference.
What a view. Consider this an invitation to the crustacean nation. The Southern Maryland Bluecrabs opened their season at Regency Furniture Stadium, hosting Bridgeport. Pitching was on display tonight as right-handed flamethrower Ann Marshall made his first career start on opening day. Marshall was solid as a rock, striking out 4 and allowing just 1 hit in 4 innings of work as the Bluecrabs edged Bridgeport 3-1. For more on the Blue Crabs, let's toss it back to the studios to two handsome fellows. Back here now in the Channel 10 studios, you know, Major League Baseball season's underway, but the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs are just now kicking it off, and who better than to bring in the #1 slugger in terms of the media covering the Blue Crabs, Dallas Cogle, Southern Maryland newspapers. Welcome back, man.
Always a pleasure, Travis. Always a pleasure.
You know, I have like a nameplate on the seat for you because you're always here all the time. So, for the Blue Crabs, new season, new manager, new expectations.
Sure.
What can we expect this season from the Blue Crabs?
I think the Blue Crabs are back to where they normally are, and that is they expect to be in the playoff hunt. They want to win that elusive Atlantic League title. They've yet to win an Atlantic League title. They've done everything but that. I was talking last week to them on Media Day, the week leading up to the season opener, which is on Thursday night of this week. And one of the things that they stated is they like the roster. It's deeper than what they had last year. And if you look down the names on the roster, they've got a few more bats, they got a few more position players, they got more versatility, and of course, they're always known for their pitching staff, and they've got some quality arms.
Now, playoff appearances for 6 straight seasons for the Blue Crabs. No championships to show for it. Do me a favor, play manager for a minute. How do you get over that hump?
It's a little bit of a crapshoot because the team who's won the last 2 titles in the Atlantic League, the Long Island Ducks, were not better than the Blue Crabs in either of the previous regular seasons. A little bit like the NFL playoffs, like the NCAA college basketball tournament. You got to get hot during that time. Even though it is series, it's best 3 out of 5. So not quite 4 out of 7, which really the cream rises to the top. 3 out of 5, usually it rises to the top. But another big part of this is in the Atlantic League, which is an independent minor league system that the Blue Crabs play in, the #1 goal of these players, they want to win, but they also want to get signed to the affiliated minors. So if you get some of your key guys signed at the wrong time leading up to playoffs, then that can hurt you. Even though you were a playoff team for the bulk of the season, you may not have some of that playoff talent that got you to that point come the postseason. The Long Island Ducks have done a good job of stockpiling from other leagues, from the affiliated minors and other good independent leagues, stockpiling at the end of the year, and their team was drastically better than the team they played during the regular season. They were able to get into the playoffs and then go from there, and they played pretty good. They also got a really playoff experience roster. The Blue Crabs lost Kyle Hankard last year. He was
he could hit, right? He
was the
was
best player in the league.
Yeah.
And actually, Pat Osborne, who just left as manager to manage the New York Yankees organization, was with the Blue Crabs the last 3 years as manager, said he was the best Blue Crab player he's ever seen.
Wow.
And he dominated the league, and then he got signed by the Angels organization, went to the AA ranks, and stayed there to the end of the year. Had the Blue Crabs had him, maybe they would have gone to the championship series, and maybe they would have won it.
Now, the Nationals and the Orioles in Major League Baseball, both sitting at or slightly above 500 right now. But expectations are both the Nats and O's to make the playoffs this season. What's your thoughts in terms of those teams? It's still early, obviously, but both rosters are littered with young talent.
Yes.
So do you see the Nats and the O's making the playoffs?
You know, you look, and going into this week, both are at or a little above 500. The Nats through 20 games, 11-9. The Orioles through 18 games, 9-9. Both right in the thick of their division. It's still really early. I do think both are capable of making the playoffs. I'm a huge Oriole fan. I've stayed with the Orioles. A lot of people jumped off that bandwagon, went to the Nats when the Nats came to town. The Orioles need Manny Machado back.
Yeah.
He is the game's best third baseman, not only defensively. Maybe he may go down, as injuries stay on his side, as being the best third baseman defensively, maybe of all time. He's very comparable to Brooks Robinson, cleans up everything. And just the other day, and then the Monday, the Patriots Day game against the Red Sox, the Orioles won that game 7-6. But the backup to Machado, Shope, 2 balls got by him that were recorded as hits that Manny Machado stops, and they both led to runs.
Yep.
So Manny Machado is a run saver as much as he is a run producer. And the Orioles have other key guys that need to come alive with the bat. Chris Davis, Adam Jones, who had big years last year, and they're still trying to figure it out. On the Nats side, Ryan Zimmerman's been hurt, so Danny Espinosa is having a big year. But certainly they need more out of Bryce Harper. I mean, he hasn't been awful, but he hasn't been fabulous.
He's got to hustle.
Yeah, well,
for number one.
Isn't that crazy? Because he is the epitome. He's running through walls last year.
Sure was.
And he admitted, I think, in his post-game press conference that, yeah, you know, the manager, he respects a manager's decision. Strasburg, very pedestrian stat. So they've got to get these young guns on the Nats going. That's a division where the Atlanta Braves seem to play very consistently in the regular season.
Absolutely.
So you can't let them get too far ahead.
Southern Maryland newspapers, Dallas Cogle, special friend to the show.
Yes.
It's baseball season,
We love
man.
each other, don't we?
Don't you
It
love
is.
baseball season?
Yeah, the crack of the bat, the popcorn, the Cracker Jacks. Should we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"?
What's more American than
That's
that?
it. Exactly.
I don't want to sing. I'll lose ratings if I start singing.
I know.
Thank you for watching Southern Maryland Sports Journal with me, Travis Thomas, exclusively on MetroCast Channel 10.
Changing times brings changing needs. That's why, for your convenience, Booth's Heating and Air have extended their service hours to 10 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, at regular service rates. Through rigorous training classes and courteous business practices, Booth's technicians always go above and beyond to provide you with award-winning customer service that you can trust. Booth's Heating and Air, serving the Southern Maryland area since 1993.